One of the biggest Republican criticisms of President Biden's State of the Union address this week was that he allegedly lied about Republicans wanting to sunset programs like Social Security and Medicare. In fact, he specifically said that instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. Well, Republicans were furious about this. They came out in the media, said this man is absolutely lying about it, even though Biden did say, I've got a copy of the plan, I'll show it to you if you want it. But Republicans insist that this wasn't true. So on Wednesday, Republican Senator Rick Scott went out in the media to tell everybody that Biden was lying by admitting that Biden was telling the truth. Nobody ever accused Rick Scott of being a smart guy, but he goes out there to talk about President Biden lying about this plan and then literally lays out his plan, which includes the same exact thing that Biden said it included. So instead of refuting him, you proved him right, Rick Scott. Let me read what he said. In my plan, I suggested the following. All federal legislation sunsets in 5 years. If a law is worth keeping, Congress can pass it again. He then went on to argue. I got to read this part too. He says, I will not be intimidated by Joe Biden twisting my words. But he didn't twist your words because you literally just reiterated exactly word for word, basically, what President Biden said. And then Rick Scott continued, further confirming that Biden was telling the truth about their horrible Republican plan. Does he think I also intend to get rid of the U.S. Navy or the Border Patrol or air traffic control maybe? This is the fake gotcha BS that people hate about Washington. I've never advocated cutting Social Security or Medicare and never would. And he then argued that his plan anticipates that Congress would quickly renew popular programs such as Medicare and Social Security, as well as defense programs. So, Rick, I don't know if you don't understand your own plan or if you're just that bad at lying, because you're admitting that, Social Security and Medicare would sunset. You're just banking on, Congress putting them back, which there is no guarantee of that. It's kind of what we thought about the assault weapons ban back in, was it 04 or 06? Like, oh, sure, they're going to redo it. We don't want these weapons on our street. And then, nope, didn't happen. So your plan does call for that, all federal legislation, and that is where Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all those programs come from. You're admitting that that's what it does. So Biden is not a liar, you are. And I'm going to have to go ahead and add on top of that, you're also a very stupid human being. I know Rick Scott wants to be president one day. He wants to be the Republican in charge of Republicans in the Senate, but this is not a smart man. Like, he is genuinely dumb. I truly believe that. Maybe you have a different opinion. But based on what I have seen from Rick Scott after living under his rule here in Florida for 8 years, after watching him in the Senate, I have followed this man's entire political career, and I gotta tell you, he might actually be dumber than Marco Rubio. And for those who've watched Ring of Fire for a long time, I always say that Rubio's the dumbest person in the Senate. Rick Scott is now giving Rubio a run for his money on who can be the dumbest. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.